with a certain rapper.
Hey.
Go and get your body, killing niggas like tsunami. I ain't talking about no petty, throwing hands like Kanye Money. Yes, the money, can't barely moving, doing sins. I be fucking up these bitches like my name is Johnny.
Today I'm back with a new video. Today we're reacting to Nicki Minaj Genius interview. This interview was requested so much, so I gotta do it and let's waste no time. And maybe I'm gonna do this like in 3 parts. So yes, but before that, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, follow me and my links down below on social medias, and let's get on to the video. Ta-da.
Sit down, everybody sit down, everybody sit down. Please, give a welcome to the lyrical queen, the genius herself, Miss Nicki.
The queen, my nigga, the queen.
I'm bad, how you doing, babe?
Hey. Come on. Hey. The fucking queen, my nigga.
What?
She looks so fucking good.
What? And the witch. What? What? Till you bought a rock. Oh. What?
This is a full-on concert. A full-on concert. Hey. Come on, queen. Yeah.
You guys, I love you so fucking much.
We love you too. We love you too.
Thank you so much for being here, y'all. I really freaking love you and appreciate you. I know it's late and I'm sorry
queen, my
to keep
nigga.
you waiting. I literally just left the video shoot and now I have to go back to a different shoot. Maybe you guys will see one tomorrow. I'm trying. But I just really appreciate your presence tonight. And I want to thank Rob for doing this. I had no clue that other things got added, like this video. I had no clue. The thing I just had to do, completely did not know. It's been such a whirlwind for the last couple days. So just make some noise for him, y'all, because he really...
Love. And make some noise for yourselves, because y'all been patient, peaceful.
Did you guys eat?
I didn't.
Okay.
It was rough.
Wait, you guys, we need to get them some food.
Yeah. Come on now. I'm hungry now. Come on now.
So
Get some
what's
food.
close around here that we can buy? McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Number 2 with the mac sauce. Come on. This genius. We gonna talk about this word.
I want some hot sauce and...
Hold on.
4 wings and some french fries. Hot sauce. Okay, now, wait. No, but honestly, you guys, can we please seriously make sure and get some food for them real quick? Because someone get some food.
We'll get on it.
Some food and some, like, I don't know. If there's like pizza around, that would be easier,
We'll
right?
find some, yeah.
But like, we black, we can eat some chicken and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? Some fried chicken and some, but I'm not giving y'all no soda. I don't want y'all drinking soda no more.
It's too late,
I want y'all to drink some water.
Yeah.
Get it away. Okay, you can get soda. Fuck it. I want some soda.
Fuck it.
Yo, Nick.
All right.
First of all, I want to welcome you to Genius because you and I have been talking about this for a while. I don't know if the Barbs know, Genius, we put all the lyrics up for every song. We deal with a lot of artists. I have not met or worked with an artist who cares this much about lyrics. When the
Because
lyrics
that's the
are
queen.
from Genius,
That's the queen.
and if it's a one word wrong, I'm getting that call and we're getting it right because it's important for her to be represented the right way. And this is the type of artist that we need to celebrate here at Genius. Who cares about their motherfucking lyrics?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, Nicki, tonight we're going to break down some of your lyrics. We're going to decode some of your lyrics. We're going to go through your whole kind of catalog. And I love
for
me, I'm kind of
doing that personally. I love doing that.
What goes on in your mind as you're creating, and I know the bars want to know what's going on as well.
Yep. Okay.
So let's get first question, just a broad question. You know, it's very important. Your pen is very important to you. Why?
Well, it's important to me. I think it started a long time ago before I even had a deal. I think it became important because we were so conditioned to believe that girls didn't write or girls had a ghostwriter. So I had this huge chip on my shoulder when I first came in, and I was telling everybody, I don't care. No man is ever gonna write my raps. I don't care. I'm gonna write. I'm smarter than these niggas and da 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 da. And so it carried me through my whole career. And if you ask any human being that has known me since the beginning of my career, they'll tell you I've been saying that since the beginning, since my mixtape days.
Right. Nah, that's it. And for you, you know, as much, and before we get into the specific lyrics, your process. What's the process? You know, I know some artists who like to write in the shower. I know you talk about writing in bed a lot. I know some artists
write
only
mostly
write
in bed, but
the
everywhere.
studio. I know some who use a pen and a
everywhere.
pad, some who go off the head, some who use their phone.
I can never go off my head.
Minaj's writing process
It's crazy.
Well, it's changed. I have written a song in my head in the shower, which has saved me a singing song. Most of the stuff that I sing, I don't ever write it. I just freestyle that. The chorus on Ganja Burning, whatever, that was never written down. Just a freestyle. But in terms of lyrics, recently I have switched the approach to doing a reference type of mumble track on the beat. And to me, whatever I do the first time is usually the dopest flow, and I just like to kind of keep that flow and then add words to that flow. I find that sometimes it's a bit confining for me to try to write in the studio. A lot of times studios are so dark and it just feels and I always feel it's dark. I feel I'm claustrophobic or something. But the minute I go on my balcony, or if I even walk outside, now I have a studio at my house, so it's so much doper. But sometimes if I'm in the studio, it feels I'm working. Sometimes if I put a book and a pen in front of me, it feels it's work, and I just can't. But if I take myself away from it, and I'm not thinking about it, I literally wake up with lyrics.
Come see.
Because it's art. It shouldn't feel like work. It shouldn't feel like pressure. Once you start feeling like that, you lose, I think, the essence of it. Because the essence of rap is fun. Rap started from having fun in the parks and shit that with the DJs and stuff like that. So once it starts becoming too clinical, it's not that easy. Even though it's clinical for me after the fact, because that's when I want to make sure every word rhymes right and sounds right and blah, blah, blah. But in the beginning, for me to feel inspired, it's important for me to feel very relaxed.
Who was the first rapper that you heard that you was this is what I want to do?
Slick Rick.
Me too. What was the record? Do you remember the record?
Mona Lisa, right?
Mona Lisa, okay.
Yeah. I remember I used to be walking around with my mother singing that song, and I didn't know that I was a little kid talking about a virgin. Honey needed a slap, and I don't know why my mother was letting me say that, but she would let me say the whole entire rap.
It was funny though, because for me too, it was Lolly Dottie, Children's Story. Slick Rick, a lot of his lyrics, a lot of his songs were almost like lullabies. Lolly Dottie. Punched in the belly, stepped on the feet, slammed the child on the hard concrete. We used to be in the playground singing that.
Right.
That's super dope, man. I want to start getting into your bars, and I don't know if you remember. It's okay if you don't, because we've known each other for a few years. The first time we met, we did an interview at XXL Magazine back when I worked at
yes,
XXL.
I do
And first, Nicki did walk in there and said, "Rob," and she didn't know me. She said, "You got egg on your face," because the freshman cover.
I wasn't on the double XL. Me and Drake wasn't on the double XL freshman cover.
It wasn't on the freshman cover. And listen, but no, that's not the point of the story.
The queens and kings of rap aren't on the cover.
No,
Come on now.
We know that now. I know what happened at the time. But she said, man, you got anger on your face. So I think you came in kind of real skeptical, as an MC should. And we sat down and did this interview. And I talked to you, Beam Me Up Scotty was out. And I talked to you about my favorite song on the album. Because it was the one that made me realize who you were as a person. And you couldn't believe that I listened to the entire, I was a journalist, a hip hop journalist. She was like, you actually listened to my mixtape? All the way through to the last song. So I want to play a little bit of the song and a little bit of the lyric that stood out for me. Can we play that? Can we cue that first? Turn it up.
Can't rap and sing on the same CD. The public won't get it, they got ADD.
Y'all can keep going. Nick, when I heard this was like, oh, she's like, we heard Itty Bitty and the freestyles, and it was like, yo, she was really dope. But it was like, oh, this is a 20-year career. This is like a legacy that the
queen in the
making.
making.
Back to this lyric. When it rains, it pours for real. Def Jam set up no Lauryn Hill. Can't rap and sing on the same CD. The public won't get it. They got ADD. Can you take me back to that? What happened with Def Jam? Was there a meeting? What's the story behind this?
Well, I think that we were being shopped, and I think that let me just say this: every label passed up on me. Every record company passed up on me.
Look at now.
Every,
don't wanna do a queen with a
crew.
Don't wanna do a new Nicki with a factory.
I'm from New York. Jay's crew and 50's crew didn't sign me. I wasn't signed to Nas, and I wasn't signed to anybody. So I think it was just that they really did say that. Number one, let me just say that.
Because you just don't make that up.
No. They told the people that was shopping my music that. And I remember thinking, okay, so that means I have to limit myself. But even back then, I remember thinking, if I looked a different way, I wouldn't need to be limited. People always talk about, like, if you look a certain way, you get preferential treatment. But they never say that it works both ways, too. You know what I mean? Like, if a woman dresses sexy, for the most part, they're not taken as seriously, right? And I remember I know I'm going all the way over here, but I remember watching something, right, on TV with my boyfriend at that time. Not at that time, I'm talking about recently, a couple years ago, when Donald Trump won. And I remember my boyfriend at the time talking about, I think, I want to say Kellyanne is the lady's name.
Kellyanne?
Conway?
Yeah.
I remember that she was on stage with Donald Trump at one time, and he said immediately, oh, she probably fucked him to get that job, right?
Whoop.
And I just remember like my blood boiling, and I was just like, why? What made you say that? Because she's an attractive lady? She couldn't have been smart and attractive. She couldn't have been smart and gotten her degrees and did it the right way and climbed up the ladder the professional, respectful way. And we really had an argument about that. To me, I never judge a woman that way. Like, if I see a badass bitch, I never assume, oh, she's stupid or she's, she got where she got, because of the wrong reasons, right? You gotta show me something else for me to think that about you. But it applies to that Lauryn Hill statement. Because I didn't come in there with wraps around my head and, being a certain way and them feeling that I wasn't spiritual or culturally, aware or whatever it is, they just assumed that I didn't have depth as a human being and as a woman.
Now every record label is begging for Nicki Minaj. Every label.
I knew what I was capable of. I knew that I was a layered lady. I was multi-dimensional, but they took one look at me and was just like, nope, she gotta be doing this thing right here. She gotta be, sex sells and that's it. And we're gonna keep her in that box.
Right.
And for a long, long time, I was like, really, really angry about that. And so I wrote about that here. And now look, it just dawned on me. I just put out Queen, and I'm rapping and singing on Queen.
Yeah.
And can't nobody tell me a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite album.
The Queen, my nigga.
That was my next question. and I know you've spoken before about your the admiration you have for Lauren. Lauren has a legacy in rap and hip hop and music that is unmatched, and a lot of people thought could never be touched. But you know who else has one of those legacies that is unmatched and can't be touched? Is Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj, my nigga. Nicki Minaj, my nigga.
Are there days when, and I know you're confident, are there days when you pinch yourself that you're on this list with the greats, with the people that you looked up to?
Sometimes. You know what was one of those moments? You remember that day when Jay was tweeting a bunch of people?
Yeah.
And he went, I just didn't expect to see my name as one of those people. And I remember it said Lauryn Hill, Nicki Minaj, and I almost just died right there. Because you never think that somebody that you look up to and get so much inspiration from is one day gonna tweet your name. And it was after Lauren's name. I was like, oh my God. Because all those people are people I look up to.
Right. Well, let's talk about this Jay-Z fella, because we're gonna fast forward a little bit, and out of present company excluded, like, it's just my favorite artist, like Jay. Like, I grew up looking up to Jay, and we used to argue about when Jay gets on the track with anybody. I'd argue like, nah, Jay and Eminem Renegade, which they argue, and you know, different things. I say Jay. But listen, there was one instance when Jay was on the track with a certain rapper.
Hey.
Wait. Respectfully. This verse was a turning moment. I just want to revisit this for a second. Can we revisit this verse? You know where we're going with it.
With a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in the conquer color of Willy Wonka. You can be the king, but watch the queen conquer. First things first, I'll eat your brain. Then I'ma start.
Go teach the thing.
Hey, monster dog. Monster is your heel, that's a monster shoe. And a monster glove. And if I'm fake.
I ain't noticed because my money ain't. You know they gonna do this all night, right?
Hotter than a minute, it's a climate, climate. Tell me about the rock, don't you whine it. Nicki on the titties and a sign it. Check my lead.
Okay, you guys.
That's amazing, though. I love y'all energy. Give it up for yourselves.
That's so dope.
I love them.
The one line in here, and that's rap. That's like when
rap.
you get on the track as an MC, even if you respect, and I know the respect you have for Jay and Kanye and Ross is on that track, it's still like, you're not gonna body me. I'm gonna hold my own. The one line, and we talked about this too, because before you named this album Queen, I remember I was calling you King. I said, you're not the Queen, you the King. Because a lot of times the Queen is a good title when you are the Queen, but sometimes we gotta stop this stigma where the woman MC is number two.
Thank you.
You know, it's certain shit. It's about your wordplay. It's about your bars, and it's certain fields of sports.
It's genius.
Like, I think
literally
the best
genius.
playing on earth. I think you can put
Absolutely.
on.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You can put up against any man and they getting bodied, and you know, you could be the king, but watch the queen conquer. Can you please talk about that and what was going through your mind?
Come on.
I mean, that was a long time ago, but I'm trying to think. Oh, I know. At that time, I knew it was on Kanye's album. So at that time, you know, even at that time, Kanye was a pretty big deal. So I knew I was getting on an album with someone that was a big presence. So I was basically talking to him like, you know, like, all right, I'm gonna show you something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to, like, you know, impress him, you know, so to speak, and show out, pretty much. So that's what, you know, and also at that, when I started, there was really no presence, really, you know. Of course, there were so many women who opened the door for me, but there was a drought. When I came, like, it was a long drought for a long time. So it was just like, you know, the rebirth, really. And I think that that song, and that was a moment in time. I've never seen anything like that happen.
Yeah.
I remember Kanye called me. He said, I know this is good. I know niggas is gonna say this is the best verse of my album. I'm taking a chance by putting this shit on here, man. You know what I'm saying? Kanye is so like dramatic. He's so colorful the way he talks. And I was like, in my head, I was dying. Like inside, I was dying because I was like, please don't let this man not put this song on there. Jesus! I was praying, like I really prayed to Jesus. I was like, Lord, please let him just, be okay with this. I didn't know Jay-Z was on it until the song came out.
Right. Were you sweating? Were you a little bit nervous?
Little. No, actually, I'm lying. Months had gone by, and Kanye said I put Jay on it. But of course, I didn't hear Jay on it, so you don't know until you know. Like I didn't hear anything, and I did not even want to say, "Can I hear it?" I was so nervous. This is to tell you how different stuff was for me at that time. Because now I have so much control over everything. It was so different that I did not even approve the mix on my vocal. Everybody know how crazy that is right now. Anybody in the industry that's looking, they know, right? He took other takes and put them together in one take. Because I did not want all those grunting sounds in one verse.
Right.
And I was like, can you please? No. I fought him while we were still in the studio. I said, no, why are you doing that? No, what are you doing? He was like, nah, I like that. That's dope. I was like, no, it just should be just a couple, just a couple. The monster voice.
Right.
And he was so obsessed with that little dumb monster voice, he wanted it to be in the whole thing. And I remember being so mad at him, but I couldn't say anything. I was just like,
yeah, but
niggas.
It turned out great. It turned out the fact was that 2010 we're talking about 8 years later. I'm a hip hop head, so I'm gonna talk hip hop. I'm not gonna talk pop with y'all. I'm just sorry, that's not what I do. I mean, there's certain verses, I remember when I heard AZ on Nas's Life a Bitch. Just how stand out that there's certain moments in hip hop that makes you stop and be like, hold up, this a moment, and 8 years later we still talking about it, and the verse don't get old.
Has there been a female rap verse since that?
Stop! Wait! We dead in that tonight. Female rap verse. We talking about rap.
You're right.
You see
Sure,
what I'm
my
saying?
bad. It's not about female rap, but not female rap. A new rap verse, like a new person on the scene being on a. Being on a song with icons. No, listen to this. Since Monster, has there been a new rapper on a record with icons that stood out like that?
Listen,
They ain't got enough
that's
talent
my
for that.
question.
But I'm coming for that. I'm coming for that.
Yeah, I want to think about it.
Follow me on my SoundCloud down below. Check out my music.
Yeah.
But I want to go to something else. This is gonna be fun. So as you start to develop your pen and your pen starts to mature and we get used to your style, we get to Nicki Minaj, the MC, you start giving us these lines that become your signature lines, and we hear it over and over.
I know already what it is.
Over again. Can we hit play? Hold on.
All these bitches is my sons.
Woo! The
I
queen!
know how to do this.
Yeah.
My son, product out, and you adopted, I keep it by your logic.
Yeah.
This is my sons, I tie my tubes up. These rappers is my sons, and I'm always 9 months.
Yeah.
These girls are my sons, I'm trying to kill.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if I
Yo, the queen, my niggas.
Wait. Hold on. I want to play a game with y'all real quick. We're gonna start.
This is
I'm gonna just
crazy.
take 3 people from the audience. Chill out. This is genius. So we look at lyrics very differently, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we went through all of Nicki Minaj's lyrics and we counted up. If she had a son for every time she said, "All you bitches is my sons," how many sons would she have? All right? Look, we're gonna do this real quick. My man right there with the bandana in the back, what you think? Oh man, you raised your hand. You go. Look, right here, come on. 250, okay, one more. 52? One more. You right there. Yeah. 84, okay, 52, 250. Nicki, how many do you think?
At least 100. 75.
This feel like the price is right, don't it? 51, my man right here got it. We got it, 51. Hey, I want to know for you, the first time you came up with All You Bitches Is My Sons, and then when you decided to make it a thing, because there's some, the Barbs get it, there's some Nicki haters who I don't understand and I don't get.
These niggas don't get it.
Why she say You Bitches Is My Son so much? Like they don't
Shut the
get
fuck
it.
up. You don't get it.
We get it.
Alright, so let me tell you what that's about. One day when I was living in Atlanta, I was in the middle of management. I was looking for managers. And there were 3 people who I was talking to manage me. One of them is, well, anyway. But what I'll say is this. One of them was Puff Daddy. You know, Puffy managed me and ended up managing me for a very short period of time, right?
I was at Double XL. That was a confusing time. I didn't know who to hit to get a Nicki Minaj interview at that point.
But look, Puffy on the fucking phone said to me, because I was like, well, I'm going to meet with you, and then I'm going to have a meeting with 2, and I told him who I'm going to meet. He was like, and you know how you be stuttering when he get mad out of it? He's like, yo, check this out. Man, like, what these niggas is my sons, man? Niggas can't tell me nothing. What these niggas my sons? I put the phone on mute and cried. Like, I was on the fucking floor rolling. Like, no, this man did not just tell me all these niggas is his sons. And we're talking about executives in the industry. So I was like so tickled by that trying to be funny, I said it. Now, what happened once I said it is that it stuck, but remember that Lil Wayne, because I don't know if y'all know me, y'all know that everything Wayne did, I wanted to do, right? Mm-hmm. So Wayne had a signature F, right? So Wayne's signature F stands for whatever, right?
F is for phenomenal.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, F is for a bunch of shit.
Yeah. We got a whole Genius video on Weezy F too. Shout out to Genius. We be going deep, but continue. Yep.
So because Wayne had that, and I thought I was the female Weezy, I said, oh my God, I need to have that be a trademark thing that I always do, because it was so funny for a girl to say all these whatever is her sons, and I'm talking about bitches, but I'm calling y'all my sons. Yeah. So it was so comical that everybody got a kick out of it. So I said, you know what? Just to push myself lyrically, I said I'm going to just try to keep on making up new ones. And so I hear a lot of girls saying stuff like that now.
I heard too. I heard a bunch of.
That's influence.
Absolutely.
That's influence.
Yeah, influence. Yeah.
But
But say it's from the queen.
Yeah, I'm not mad at all. But it started off as a joke. Puppy said it to me, and he was dead ass serious. And it tickled me so much, I just had to keep it as a part of my repertoire.
That's dope. I didn't know that came from Puppy. That's super dope. That was a dope story. This is the shit we trying to get today. Listen, there's been a lot of Nicki Minaj interviews this week. I wanted to make this one different. This is genius. I just wanted to go in a different direction.
Did y'all get their food? I didn't forget.
Real quick, because we're definitely going to get into Queen lyrics, and there's a lot on Queen, but I did over the weekend. I was having a hard time, like, just picking lyrics to ask you about because there was so many. So I did ask the Barbs. I reached out to the Barbs on Twitter and said, you know, I'm working with Nicki, and just what are some of your favorite lines? And this one was ill. I remember this one. I want to know if you remember this one. I'm just going to read it out. Now, every club promoter want to bid like auctions.
Sell tickets like Boston. I remember exactly where I was when I made that up.
Let's go. This is what we want. Let's go.
I was driving my BMW. I was coming down I think it's the West Side Highway. I'm not good with streets or whatever, highways, whatever. But I was driving in a car by myself, and I was waitressing at that time. And so that lyric is very old because I was still a waitress.
2008, Sucker Free, right?
And I put that. Oh, is that where it's on? Okay. Did I ever reuse that lyric? Because I feel like I did on Envy.
Yeah.
I knew I would have reused that shit because it's so fucking hard to me. But I remember when I
heard that lyrics already. I heard that bar already.
I remember like being mad hyped to go to the studio and show off to the boys in my group that I had that lyric because I thought that was a dope lyric. Celtics like Boston. And by the way, till this day, people are always confused that I spit sports metaphors. So this is what I want to say. Yeah. Now, I'm gonna give you an example, right? One chance way. It's a lyric that says, my switch is. No, that's not the lyric.
No, nigga.
But that's a dope one. No, but that's a dope
What the
one.
fuck? No.
But I wasn't talking about that, babe. But no.
Savage.
Swishes are Wichita.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Tell that bitch I'm in the league. She still play for. So nobody would think that I would. First of all, probably niggas don't. It's probably niggas that have no clue what I'm talking about that. So I literally looked up and said, I looked on Google and I said, let me find a college basketball team or a team or something that just doesn't have they don't play in the big league.
It's like super mainstream. Like it's not obvious.
Right. So I looked up and I found Wichita, and so I just had to make it rhyme, right? So someone was asking me the other day, like, Dad, what would make you say that? Like, you're a girl. How do you get so in depth with sports stuff? I said, Google. It's your best fucking friend. Anybody that wants to rap, and this is true shit. Like, if you want to rap, to expand your vocabulary, I think that it's very important to expand your vocabulary. I think it's very important to be colorful in your lyrics. I think it's very important to say shit that, no one's ever said before. We all say stuff that people have said before, right? But Google is my best friend. Right. So I always, for instance, I'm gonna give you one more example. With Odell and the white guy, Brad Wayne. Yeah. He first of all, I didn't even know him. I had no clue who that man was, never heard of him, never met him.
I thought you watched sports. I listen to y'all. I'm like, maybe I'm watching ESPN like a motherfucker.
Let me tell you what I did. I was writing this song for Calvin Harris. It's called Skirt. So why did I go on Google?
I read Skirt already.
I went on Google and I literally Googled top punters. You know why? Because I wanted to rhyme something. This is so crazy. Right. The lyric was about punting, right? But it just so happened that the line before that was Yao Ming. And when I saw Brad Wayne, I was like, Yao Ming, Brad Wayne, this is too good to be fucking true. So I put Brad Wayne in the line. Listen, this is crazy. I was not following that man on Instagram or nothing. I was following Odell, but I didn't know that was like Odell's best fucking friend. It's just how the universe works. Right. I did not seek out to put Brad Wayne's name in the lyric. I Googled top punting people, blah, 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 and I see his name. I think his name was like number 7 or something. It wasn't like top 1, but it just rhymes perfectly with Yao Ming.
That's so ill.
And that's how I get a lot of my sports metaphors. When Meek was on House Arrest, they used to watch basketball all day, every single day. They would bet on basketball, blah, blah, blah. So I'm there. I'm absorbing the information. I'm not going to sit there and just be like, people think women are dumb. It's like, why I did an interview with Flex, right? He said, you know how I knew you write your lyrics? Because of Barbie dreams. I said, huh? You believe that I write my lyrics all these years later because Barbie dreams? I said, why? He said, because it shows that you're aware of what's going on. Right. It's almost like men think that being a woman is a handicap.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
No, it's not a handicap. We're very intelligent. We're paying attention. The same way y'all pay attention, we pay attention.
But let me tell you, and real quick, that's an excellent point. And this is the conversations I want to have with you because it's certain ones of us that look at rap differently. And when you said Wichita, I don't know if I ever. Rap just celebrated its 45 your birthday for hip hop, right? And think about this, and I could be wrong, but in 45 years, I don't think I ever heard a rapper use the word Wichita.
The Queen just did. The Queen.
Unlikely, right? It kind of reminds me of Notorious B.I.G. Like, you know, when Papa been smooth since days of Under Rules. I never heard nobody use Under Rules in the fucking rap. Because it's about finding the different words, the connections, and building on it. And this is the type of shit I want to salute you for, because I don't know that you get enough credit, or people, y'all give it the credit. We know. But again, when I'm talking about in the span of hip hop, where you fit in and the work you put in, you know, I believe in giving people
disrespectful as hell.
So these are your flowers. One more, and then we're gonna get into Queen. This shit is ill. This shit.
Guys, so this was it for part 1 of the Genius interview. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you want to see part 2 and part 3 of this reaction, and I'm gonna post it up after. So yeah, I've been Mr. J. You guys been awesome. If you guys want me to do, if you guys have any song that you have to read down in the comments, and I'll do it for you guys. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Bye.
They can never fucking touch me. They can never fuck me. While you niggas talking shit, I'ma pull up with your bitch. I'ma go and get her pregnant, have a couple fucking kids.